You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome to Music City, USA and the Nashville Superspeedway for round number 8 of the Racers Elite Cup Series. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tony Spasso. We'll welcome you into the booth tonight as we get ready to turn these guys loose for 150 laps here at the Nashville Superspeedway that is a superspeedway but isn't a superspeedway. I'll explain later. Matter of fact, let's explain it right now as we take a look at the track map. Track length 1.3 miles. Speedways are usually a little bit bigger than that, but they wanted to differentiate. I can English, I promise I can, folks. Differentiate this track from the Nashville Fairgrounds, which is just across town. So this is the Super Speedway, that's the Fairgrounds, and this is Sim Racing Media and Racers Elite Cup Series. As the hot lap session coming to an end, I'm counting 13 haulers in the infield, not too shabby. As, okay, apparently not. As we are waiting to click things over into the qualifying session, let's take a quick look at the weather conditions tonight under the lights here in Nashville. 72-degree ambient air temperature, 7-mile-an-hour winds. That's got me a little bit concerned, but the track temperature is only 74 degrees, overcast skies, 54% humidity in the air. That's not that shabby. First one to roll it, Kirby Wainscott in the 10. Rocking the SpongeBob paint scheme tonight, I see. Let's see, Paul Shaw also rolling it. Sharp-looking Camry. Very British touring car-esque to that car tonight. Dennis Kane also back with us. There is the number 4. Had a great run going last week until it didn't. Eric Jensen. Haven't seen him in a while. Rock the Mountain Dew number 88. Dale Earnhardt Jr. tribute scheme. Let's take a look at what Wayne Scott's going to lay. Oh, negates that lap. Dude, lift. Holy cow. Paul Shaw goes to the top of the pile with a 30.36. Wayne Scott was on pace to go quicker. Unfortunately, caught the wall. Josh Neal coming out now. Let's take a look at Kane here. First lap for Kane right to the top of the heap. 30.2 flat. Nice done, sir. Take a look at Jensen now as he's coming out of 4. Good head of steam. Right down onto the flat. Quick way around. Third quick for Jensen so far. Josh Neal on the clock now. And Dennis Kane improved on lap number 2. Goes 29.91. Wow. That's honking. Josh Smith getting ready to put lap 1 in the books. Sharp looking Milwaukee Power Tools Chevy Camaro tonight. Second quick. Ed DeBoer, lap 1 getting ready to go in the books for him. 6 quick so far. As Austin Smith trying to pick things up. Josh Neal moves up to third quick. Second lap for Smith, right to the top of the heap. 29.78. Wow. See what Ed DeBoer is going to be able to do here on lap 2. Race to the stripe, and DeBoer goes third quick. Corey Crowell in another Mustang here tonight for the K West group. Crowell goes 7 quick on his first one. Puffenbarger, though, is on a ripper right now. That Lowe's Camaro putting in work, going second quick on lap 1. That's the fastest lap 1 we've seen out of anybody tonight. Still have Andrew and Alex Teft, Kirby Wayne Scott, Scotty Davis, and Kinsley Smith to try to lay times. Still plenty of time to try to do it. Puffenbarger, second lap. Oh! Bangs the wall. That's going to negate the lap. Second quick so far for Puffenbarger. Crowell stays 8th. Smith rolling out on the track right now in the Napa Auto Parts 15. We heard a very emotional podium interview with him last week. Thoughts and prayers going out to Kensley and his family, having lost the patriarch just a week ago today. Lap 1 for Smith. It's going to be a solid one. Only 8th quick. Gave up a lot coming through the last sector of the track, going through 3 and 4. Let's see what 1 and 2 is going to give him this time. Still not too shabby with first lap. Does improve. Three and 4 right down on that mustard stripe. Giving the... Oh, everybody's been hitting that same sign. Negates lap 2. He's going to start 8th quick as Alex Teff starts rolling it in the Club Wyndham number 43. A little different look here under the lights. Kind of representative of the old Lotus Formula One cars with the black and gold paint schemes on those. Still got the United States Air Force there on the rear quarter panel. As he now goes on the clock. .15.01 for the first sector. That's solid. That's definitely solid. If you can maintain it here coming to the line. 6 quick. Looking to improve on lap 2. His brother Alex's brother Andrew starting to roll now as well. Loving the Mark Martin tribute scheme on that one tonight. Fourth quick for Andrew. Alex's second lap moves him to 5th. Let's see what Andrew's second lap is going to give him. Oh, he's calling it. 1 and done. Scott Davis trying to roll it now. He's got just enough time to get at least 1 lap in. Should be able to get both of them with 2 minutes left here in the qualifying session. Let's see what Sector 1 is going to give us with Scotty. Sounds like he's shifting. I don't know if everybody is tonight, but it sounds like he was grabbing a gear going into 3. He's definitely grabbing one through the front chute. Only 10th quick is Kirby Wainscott, the only driver to not present for qualifying yet. Let me rephrase that. Wainscott did present. He did not post the legal time, having negated both his laps after bouncing off the wall at the end of lap 1 and crossing the start-finish line to start lap 2. As Davis, 4th quick so far, and that is going to do it for qualifying. A short field, but if the last couple of weeks are any indication, it's going to be a very strong field here tonight. A lot of battling being ready to be put to the test tonight. And that is going to do it for qualifying. Congratulations to Austin Smith for setting quick time here this evening. As we are getting ready to click it on over into grid. Let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's starting lineup, shall we? Starting up on the pole with a quick time of 29.789. Austin Smith winning the quick time award. Brandon Puffenbarger only 64 thousandths slower than a roll to his outside. Dennis Kane and Scotty Davis making up row number 2. Andrew Taft and Alex Taft, the brothers, going to start side by side in row number 3. That should be a good one to watch. Ed DeBoer, Ben Quick, everywhere we've gone. Josh Neal going to start to his outside in row number 4. Eric Jensen and Paul Shaw making up row number 5, with row 6 starting shotgun on the field, Kensley Smith and Corey Crowell. So, take that back. We got one more. Starting shotgun on the field is going to be Kirby Wainscott in the 10. And Puffenbarger electing to not grid. He's going to have to pit start that piece. off pit road, single file. They can get double file as soon as they clear that blue cone, so nobody has to deal with a penalty. It's going to be a good one. So with that, Scott Davis is going to move up to the outside of row number 1. He's going to move up that entire outside row up 1. Lights are out on the pace car. 150 laps of scheduled distance, 50% fuel bill here tonight. The only thing that's left for me to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab the guitar because it's time to get it on in Music City. Race fans, it's showtime! Barney waves the green flag, and we're off and running here for round number 8 of the Racers Elite Cup Series from Nashville Super Speedway. And already Smith carving out 3/4 of a second to the good down the back straightaway. Good head of steam for him. Everybody else still trying to get sorted out. Everybody trying to get single filed out here early. The closest battle is back here between Ed DeBoer and Andrew Taft and Josh Neal. Neal on the top side, Taft on the low side. And it's a complete Waffle House situation here in the multi-grooves of the Nashville Superspeedway. Right in front of them, it's Alex going after Scotty Davis. So the Taft brothers running stem to stern in 3rd and 4th right now. Davis not having a good time of it in that Ducks Unlimited Toyota Camry. And I can't help but feel that man in the 23, Austin Smith, going just a little too hard, a little too soon here in the early going. He's already carved out a full second over Dennis Kane. And Kane, I think, is going to be in the same position as he's got a 2.5 over the Taft brothers. Checking back in here with 9th is Kensley Smith, Corey Crowell. Ooh, what just happened to Davis? Looks like he may have caught the wall. As he is way off pace right now. He's actually looking like he's bringing it pit side. You missed the access road, bud. Austin Smith setting qualifying laps here in race trim. That's scary. Now a 2.5 to the good over Kane as both the Tafts start to reel Kane in. And they now have to deal with the, Ed DeBoer, Kensley Smith, and Corey Crowell all over each other. Right now, Crowell in the 21 is your biggest mover. He's sitting +5. Oh, this 3-car tango for 6th, 7th, and 8th is starting to heat up immensely. And something just happened again to Scott Davis. Let's see what happened to the 19. Came into pit, had just left pit road when something went horribly wrong again. Just called it. And he is done and dusted now. Checking back in here with the 25 of Shaw as Wayne Scott has gotten by him. Wayne Scott sits +4, now +3 as Shaw battles back. Checking back in here with Corey Crowell, as he is currently still your biggest mover at +6. And this is what he's seen in his rearview mirror. That is Kensley Smith right behind him, who's at +4. So these guys have worked their way up from the tail end of the field, flirting with the top 5 right now. They still have about a second and a quarter to make up on Josh Neal to get up there into the mix. Checking back in with Kirby Wayne Scott out of Sparta, Kentucky, as he is still trying to reel in Paul Shaw. Shaw bobbled in the early going. Only 11 cars still running. Puffin Barger decided to not even start. Scotty Davis did start, only finished 4 laps before parking it. Shaw in the 25, Wayne Scott in the 10, and that is Ed DeBoer in the 24 right in front of him. This is what Shaw has seen in his rearview mirror, as Eric Jensen starting to reel both these guys in. On board with Wayne Scott now. Wayne Scott doing everything he can to try to figure out a way to get by Shaw. He's going to have to make it quick because the 88 of Eric Jensen is coming quick. There is Jensen right there. And that is DeBoer, Shaw, and Wayne Scott right in front of him. Just trying to keep in contact with these guys right now. Everyone's still on the lead lap. Getting ready to put we got 15 in the books. And oh, buddy Howell. This race is starting to really heat up back here for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Checking back up in front of these guys, it's Josh Neal and Corey Crowell going after each other now. Crowell now your biggest mover at +7. And Josh Neal not letting him get too far up the road. don't look now, but Corey Crowell is starting to reel in Alex Teff. Just as I say that, Andrew Teff starting to reel in Dennis Kane. Can't help but think that the 4 went way too hard, way too soon in the early going in this one. I mean, yes, he was gifted, you know, a clear shot at the leader at the opening get, but I'm thinking Austin Smith is going too hard. I mean, he's still running low 30s, and apparently he just wants to apologize to the Goodyear reps after the race. Teff looking on Kane now, going into 1. And Kane just let him have it. Knows it's way too soon to be battling that hard. So Andrew Teff up to 3rd, Dennis Kane back to up to 2nd, back to 3rd is Dennis Kane. When we go back here with this battle between Wayne Scott and Shaw, this has not let up 1 iota over the last couple of laps. And it's a battle of give and take. Give a little, take a little, give a little, take a little. And they're less than a tenth of separation, you know, as far as lap times go. Like the handling starting to go away on the 25 of Shaw. As you can see, a little bit of tail wag. We go back up towards the front. That is Alex Teff trying to hold off Corey Crowell. Ford driver in the 21 trying to give the Chevy and Teff all he can handle right now. This is your battle for 4th. Kane continuing to just chip away at Teff right now. Teff going to go to the high side. That's one thing we haven't seen a lot of here at Nashville, is that second lane coming in early, and it doesn't look like it's going to do so tonight either. Teff, though, able to hang on for now. Crowell, though, is going to have position on him going into 1. Door to door they go. Teff going to slide in behind him as Crowell going to pick 4th away from him. On board now with Alex Teff. What do you say we turn it up? And we are back at Nashville as right now, Austin Smith out to a 3-second lead over Andrew Teff, putting everybody on notice that he wants that brand new Gibson Les Paul guitar that is the trophy here at Nashville. I know drivers that have won the trophy here at Nashville, and for that matter, Richmond, Virginia, when it was the Rock and Roll 400, Gibson also donated a guitar to that trophy. And I know a lot of drivers that started playing guitar after they won the trophy. So, hey, music is something that can bring people together from different walks of life. And you don't realize just how important music is until you start having to deal with those, those special moments in life where good, bad, indifferent, everybody remembers what they were listening to when certain events happened in your life. You know, that first dance with, your first ever girlfriend in high school. I can tell you exactly what song was playing. It was Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. You know, we all know where we were when we got that first kiss. Ooh, wholesale pit stops taking place here. Is the entire front of the field bringing it pit side. Austin Smith was the first one to blink. Wayne Scott stays out to take over the lead to try to lead one lap here. I dare say we're going to see 4 in fuel for everybody. And that's exactly what we're seeing is right now Wayne Scott, your leader. Can we get the high-speed drone to see what his rear end looks like? That said something and I don't know what. Thank you. That's what I was afraid it was going to say. Right now you're watching your battle for effective third place. As that is Kane, Crowell, and Teff. As Wayne Scott has not come down pit road yet. Austin Smith is 4.25 seconds over Andrew Teff, who's 6 seconds over this battle right here. Oh, Wayne Scott gets it all wrong. Let's go take a look at that one again. Just cannot get that car slowed down, wove down, and turned enough. Almost brings out a caution, but got it off the track in time. That hands that man the lead of the race over again. 4.25 seconds to the good over Andrew Teft. And Teft has 6.5 seconds over Corey Crowell. The closest battle on track is back here for fourth. Alex Teft shows the way over Dennis Kane. And they are coming up to put a lap on Kensley Smith, who's currently a lap down to the leaders, as he and Eric Jensen both got popped for speeding on the pit road. Oh, the humanity. Checking with Brandon Puffenbarger right now. The power went out just as it came time to grid. Sorry about that, Brandon. Better luck next week, buddy. Do want to remind everybody, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action here on Sim Racing Media, as we do have racing 7 nights a week. Tonight being the only game in town for us, it's the Racers Elite Nextgen Series, round number 8 from Nashville. Tomorrow night we'll be doing a doubleheader with the Dynasty Racing League, round number 8 from Indy, and the Monsters of Speed New Gen Cup Series, round number 2 of, race number 2 of round number 2 of their playoffs from the house that Penske built. You don't want to miss out on a single moment of action. And then Saturday, we have the ISNF Cup Series at 5:30 and the Dynasty Racing League at 8 o'clock. So doubleheader on Saturday, and then Sunday night, as we always do, it's Sunday Night NASCAR regular season finale from Daytona. Oh, while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button, because every time somebody likes one of these videos from Sim Racing Media, it helps the YouTube algorithm suggest us more around YouTube of, hey, you like racing, you might want to check out this series. And with us broadcasting 7 nights a week, those odds are increased. And while we're at it, don't forget to wow, we're that close. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, as we are fast approaching 3,500 subscribers. And from the guy that's been here since day one, that's a milestone I never thought I would see. But here we are. We're only less than 30 away from being at 3,500 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Share these videos and get your friends and family to subscribe too, so they don't miss a single moment of action. Especially if you're one of the drivers that goes back and watches these races after the fact. Tell your friends and family about us. As here we go. Kane making a move on Taft, as it looks like the 15 of Smith got up into the wall coming through 3 and 4. Oh, don't do it. Taft was thinking about making it 3 wide for a second there. Rest of the field more strung out than a methadone clinic. This battle for 4th is your closest battle on track. Taft got a better run coming off of 4 that time. Kane going to pin it down to the low side. Use the short way around. Taft sends it going into 1. One-third of the way through this race already. Austin Smith has led the vast majority of laps here tonight, as he's now getting ready to lap 9th place. Kirby Wainscott, who had an abysmal pit stop. back to this battle between Kane and Teft for 4th. And with what's a third of the way into the books, we're going to step away, pay a couple bills, we'll be back right after this.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
Are back at Music City, USA, the Nashville Super Speedway, around number 8 of the Racers Elite Cup Series. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Tony Trapasso. Thank you so much for making this part of your Thursday evening. Checking in with who's running where. There is your race leader, Austin Smith, who just put Kirby Wainscott a lap down. 3.5 seconds behind him is that man, Andrew Taft, running in second. Corey Crowell holding down third spot, only 12.25 seconds off of Taft. As a matter of fact, Crowell is in a Taft sandwich right now, as he's got Andrew in front of him, 12.25 seconds up the road, and he's got Alex behind him, only 0.75 seconds back. About 4 car lengths separation between Crowell and Taft right now. That is your closest battle on track. Then you got to go back 1.5 seconds to Dennis Kane in the 4. Ed DeBoer in the 24 runs in 6th. Josh Neal in the 82. There he is. And Paul Shaw in the 25, being scored as the last car on the lead lap. Wainscott, the last car... Wainscott, there he is, trying to get his lap back the hard way. As he does, Wainscott now the last car on the lead lap. And the last car still running of the 13 that were slated to take the green. Eric Jensen, there he is. After being popped speeding on pit road, sits 1 lap down. Actually sits 3 laps down. Kensley Smith, Scotty Davis, and Brandon Puffenbarger are already on the haulers. Getting back up here, battle for third, hot and heavy. Teft on the low side, Crowell on the top shelf. Teft makes it work as Smith brings it down pit road. Andrew Teft goes with him. 1 and 2 coming down just before the halfway mark. Crowell stays out. Alex Teft comes down pit road. Dennis Kane comes down pit road, and so does Ed DeBoer. Crowell's going to stay out at least 1 more lap. And so does Wainscott, for that matter. Smith down and away. Teft down and away. Crowell brings it pit side. Wainscott still on the lead lap. Currently, well, here comes Wainscott for the lead. He stays out again. As there are both Alex Teft and Dennis Kane. Foreign fuel for everybody that came pit side. Crowell now finally out of pit road. Alex Teft, the last car being scored on the lead lap now in 5th. Wayne Scott still has to come down pit side. So that is your effective race leader. Austin Smith, currently in the 23. You see Paul Shaw behind him as a buffer between himself and Andrew Teft, who is your effective second place. Teft and Crowell starting to heat things up again. It's Alex this time. A little Ford on Chevy action back here for effective 3rd place. As we are still waiting to see when Wayne Scott's going to bring it pit side. Crowell and Teft have not gotten away from each other all race. It's been the Corey and Alex show for the latter part of the top 5 all night so far. Just past the halfway mark. Let's go on board with Alex and see what he's seeing. And we are back at Nashville Super Speedway for round number 8 of the Racers Elite Cup Series. And joining us now, the honky tonk DJ himself, Matt Nettler. Welcome to Nashville.
Hey, thanks, Tony Trapasso. I thought I'd jump in here and join you as a special guest tonight in prime time for some live action, as always, my friend.
Oh, absolutely. And you picked a great league to do it. These guys put on a show week in and week out. They're always giving me something to talk about. And right now, it's that slugfest for 3rd place between Corey Crowell, who just happens to be your biggest mover at +9, sitting in 3rd, and Alex Teft, who's sitting +2 right behind him.
Yeah, these guys really slugging it out up here. Nashville Super Speedway, one of my favorite tracks, believe it or not. This place will really test you, put you through the grinder, as I like to say. And looks like, as you mentioned, I'm in for a treat tonight as some of the best in the business duking it out right now out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, these guys, they've always given me something to talk about, even when they may have thought that, oh, this has got to be boring for him. No, it's not. You guys are giving me stuff to talk about, whether it be fuel mileage, whether it be pit strategies, whether it be getting drivers popped for speeding on. And it looks like that's what happened with Josh Neal the last time down pit road. Speeding infraction cost him 30 seconds in his box. As it happened earlier to Kensley Smith, and he decided to put it on the hauler early because of it.
Yeah, costly penalties, those types of mistakes, as you mentioned, being stuck in the box for 30 seconds, Tony, especially at a racetrack like this, only 1.33 miles in length. That'll really put you behind the 8 ball. Only way to recover from that really is to get a couple caution flags go your way. So you're right, definitely trouble for some of these bigger names within the series so far here tonight.
As we just saw the pass for third place between Teft and Crowell. Crowell going to try to battle back. These guys, once they found each other in the opening laps, they haven't gotten more than a fart away from each other all night.
Yeah, you can see they're definitely still going at it there. He thought about making the move, but he pulled back up in line. That Ford Mustang really seems to be working the bottom of the racetrack right now. And just as I say that, he goes up to that middle groove. But you're right, Tony. They're certainly putting on a show, duking it out against one another at the moment.
Now, it's something that we haven't seen here quite a lot. But because we have such a short field here tonight, only 13 cars approached the time in qualifying. And only 12 took the green. We haven't seen that second lane come in like we normally do here at Nashville. And that's because not a lot of people have been having to go down there because we've been single file a lot of tonight.
Yeah, you're right, Tony. You get that conveyor belt running that single lane. That rubber is going to get laid down in that one preferred groove. And as you mentioned, limited number of hauler heres means not a ton of race cars rubbering up the racetrack. It'll do exactly just like you said. It's really going to take, a couple of these drivers to be committed to getting that second lane, kicking the dust off it, as you will, if they want to get that one productive out there on the racetrack.
We've seen guys able to defend a little bit up there, but it just taking the shorter way around has really worked here tonight. And, especially coming down the front chute here, because that's probably the flattest portion of the track is that front chute. You're not going to be able to make anything really stick. As here we go again. Crowell goes up to the top shelf. Kane looks underneath.
Yeah, top shelf where Mama likes to hide the cookies, as RJ would say. Got a John 4 special going into the 3 and 4 complex. Look at the 4 of Dennis Kahn. He really made that car work the bottom right on that yellow line, as you said, Tony, and just like that, able to get himself some breathing room as now as he's really extended his lead now over that 21 by at least 2 car lengths.
And Matt, just so you know, I might not be here Sunday because the Buffalo Sabres are holding a memorial service for Rich Jenneret this coming Sunday afternoon, and I might be going there with a couple of friends from around here.
It's only fitting that you be there, Tony. As big as an impact that man had on your life and professional career, I don't see how you could not be there. My best wishes, and obviously you have my blessing. I hope you can make that happen.
Well, I mean, part of me really wants to be at Daytona for Sunday Night NASCAR with you, but I almost can't not go.
Let me put it to you this way. Sunday Night NASCAR, we love you. You're a big part of the broadcast each and every week and have been for a long time. But this only happens once in a lifetime, and certainly as big of a mentor as that man was to you, I'm pretty certain everyone from, the HMFIC, Chris Claude, and all the competitors down would be supportive just as they were in the prior broadcast last Sunday.
Well, like you and I discussed Friday and again on Sunday, I spent all Saturday crying.
Yeah, I know that was, tough on me and especially tough on you. And I think that would be a great way, to send RJ off, also on a personal level for you as well. Like I said, I hope you're able to make it happen.
Well, the scary thing is I never actually got a chance to meet the man.
One more time, I'm sorry, Tony.
I never got a chance to actually meet the man.
Well, as busy as that man was, it's probably hard to get 20 seconds,
Oh, yeah.
just to catch him and shake his hand and say hi and introduce yourself, let alone time for a photo. I mean, that man was, the heart and soul of the Sabres voice for, 30 plus years. I mean, a guy
Try
like that,
50. He was the Sabres broadcaster for the first 50 years of the organization.
Yeah, I said plus 30, but like you said, plus 50 years of the organization. So that man's probably hard to get a lunch date with.
You're not wrong, as now we're watching a battle for fifth. Ed DeBoer has caught Corey Crowell, and it looks like everything's falling off the wagon on the 21. He is going backwards, quick, fast, and in a hurry, as you like to say. Crowell is still your biggest mover, now in sixth, as DeBoer gets by him. DeBoer had an amazing run last week at Michigan International Speedway. Of course, being out of Cadillac, you kind of would expect the hometown boy to do well in his home track.
Or at least you would hope. And as you know, a lot of these drivers, Tony, when it comes to their home track, that's a little extra motivation,
right?
A little extra fire underneath in the cockpit of that race car. I could not agree with you more. Continue to watch this battle here between the 21 of Crowley and the 24 of DeBoer. I mean, these guys keep, just keep tossing it back and forth to each other at times, it seems. I really think when, the 21 there of Crowley went up to the top of the racetrack there, you can find some speed up there, but that's going to really hammer that right rear tire on this race car, Tony. Now, being further into the run, those tires already having some wear. You mentioned that car going in the wrong direction. I'm not so certain going up to the top shelf is going to do you any favors here unless you plan that, over the start of the run and you drove the car a little bit differently. But like you said, nonetheless, both these drivers having a great run thus far through 96 laps of competition.
Oh, absolutely. And, the man that we've talked about all night that I can't help but think he might be going too hard, but he's proven me wrong every step of the way. Austin Smith, fast time in practice, fast time in qualifying, fast time here in the race with a 29.74.
Yeah, 29.74 is definitely getting it. Hashtag Cletus McFarland full send around this racetrack. Hey, you know what? Maybe this tire compound on this racetrack, maybe similar to those hockey pucks we had at Watkins Glen. I mean, you're right. The pace he's been putting up, is certainly blistering. And so far, he's able to keep that number 23 out in front as well. So apparently he's doing something right.
Well, he's still the only one running low 30s. Everybody else in the mid 30s. But, I can't help but think clean air's got to have something to do with that.
Well, Tony, we know how aero-sensitive these race cars are. More so, than the Gen 6 and its predecessor. Clean air, that's, that's like sometimes giving that car another 50 horsepower and 60 foot-pounds of torque. And, feeling like you have, almost a 30 to 40% increase in downforce, just having that clean, undisrupted air on the front of that race car. And you're right. Talking about Austin Smith here in that number 23 car continues to be out front here. You're right. He is consistently the fastest guy out there on the racetrack.
A little bit of pit strategery going on here as Andrew Teff brings it pit side from second place early. We've been seeing about 34 to 35 laps is what they're able to get out of a tank to go fast. Teff was just down on 70, and he brings it pit side early here. Moves Alex up into second now. As Andrew, who, it's hard to bet against Andrew because he's been top 3 at just about every race I've broadcasted with this group. So he's got something figured out as Dennis Kane follows him. Let's see when Alex is going to come pit side.
Let's see if this is a case come one, come all. Obviously, a little
Not
bit of
yet.
an undercut. Could be what come one, come all. We're going to have to see. But as you hinted at, maybe a little undercut strategery in play here, pushing those chess pieces up on the board, if you will. I like the call though, Tony. If you don't have the speed, or you
got to try something.
You got to try something. You got to take a swing, and that's certainly what some of these drivers here are doing. And I like that move.
Now, here's the only downside to this. With Teft pitting as early as he did, almost 8 laps early, everybody's still got to come down at least twice more. And depending on how long Smith and everybody else can stay out there, now Kirby Wainscott has been getting the best fuel mileage tonight as he went 36 laps last time he was down. Or in between his first stop and his second stop, he was 36 and I think 37. Let me just double check that little factoid.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, Tony, I see what you mean. Only 50% of 100% fuel capacity there in the juice box of these race cars here tonight. So you're absolutely right. These guys are going to have to stop 2 more times. That 8-lap deficit. That 8-lap deficit could come back to haunt him depending on how things play out.
Now, with Andrew Teft, he can actually take a set of tires on the money stop, whereas everybody else is going to have to gamble. As Smith brings it pit side finally.
Yep, Smith's going to bring it down pit road, and to the point about the tires, I like to call Dr. Feelgoods. As a race car driver, nothing like giving your confidence a kick in the right direction by putting 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles on it when it's coming down to money time. That's something we got to keep an eye on for sure.
As Alex Teft takes over the lead. See what Ed DeBoer stays out. Corey Crowell stays out. Paul Shaw looks like he's staying out. And Andrew Teft, he's not going to be that far behind Austin Smith.
Yeah, as we see now, the 43 of Alex Teft and company coming down pit road, liking the paint scheme on that race car as well, Tony.
On Andrew's number 6?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Yeah, that's Mark Martin, 1999, 2000.
Yeah, that reminds me of the paint scheme that was on his favorite chassis when he was so dominant at Texas Motor Speedway.
That was that car.
Got the Eagle 1 there on the deck lid. I'm pretty sure that's the paint scheme.
It is. I was a long-time Mark Martin fan. And
the greatest driver that
never won a championship.
And I think he came runner-up 3 times in the championship.
You are correct, sir.
And he almost got a Daytona 500, but
Kevin Harvick.
We all know what Kevin Harvick. That's where he got the coined phrase, "Mister, where did he come from?"
Yeah, or the closer. Pretty sure it was Darrell Waltrip on the call saying, "Where did he come from?" And that kind of sparked it all. But yep.
Nonetheless, love seeing that paint scheme out there on the
racetrack.
Wow!
Look at that lap time. 29.68 with a 7 for Teft.
That is full afterburner out there. That is insane. Well, clearly he was holding a little bit back, but I'm going to say he's giving it everything he has right now, Tony. The question is how long can he maintain a pace like that? Because this track can really be abrasive on those tires, especially if you're out there driving it hard. And looking at the lap time, I'm saying Teft is getting all of it right now.
He absolutely is. And, you look between Teft and Smith. Smith was a little bit quicker that last time by, but still, I mean, both these guys are running sub-30s right now, and everybody else is struggling to get to the low 30s, even on new tires.
Yeah, that's a great point, Tony. And even, I mean, looking at the fastest laps of the race prior to what we just seen, I mean, this is a new level being uncorked by Teft right now. I mean, we still have a decent amount of laps left to run in this one. We're working lap 110. We got another 40 laps to go here. But if what you said maybe comes into fruition, if he has another set of tires in the pits, you can get all the good out of these tires right now, knowing you still have to stop one more time.
You are correct, and he's gonna force the hand of everybody else. Of do I take 2? Do I take 4? Do I take none? Do I just do fuel only? What do I do? Because Taft is going to give himself enough time with the money stop to be able to put those new tires to use. I don't know if the same is going to be said for everybody else.
Well, that's the beauty of, pretty much being the ringleader here, in Teft's, in the sake of Teft for that discussion and that argument. You basically, you get to control and influence everyone else's decision-making out there on the racetrack. How you counter, what they're doing right now in the number 6 camp, can make or break your race, or ultimately put Teft into victory lane or keep him out of victory lane. But looking at the pace he's putting up right now, Tony, and if he has another set of Dr. Feelgoods in those pits, he's going to be really tough to contend with.
Yeah, but look at the lap time difference between the two. Teft goes 29.9. Smith was 29.76.
Yeah, so Smith can obviously turn it up there as well.
Yeah, I mean, they've had the 2 fastest cars all night long, including practice and, I take that back. Teft kind of borked one in qualifying. He was a one-and-done kind of deal because he lost coming through one on lap 2 and just decided, to shut it down. But Austin Smith has been on rails tonight.
I was just going to, mention, you said on rails. He's also, I'm sure, as you mentioned, one of the biggest movers of the race tonight. He's currently up 9 spots, your leader. And then Alex Teft, the other, who's in 4th right now, he's up 9 spots as well. So, to your point, he definitely knows how to get around this racetrack.
Actually, your 2 biggest movers are back there in 6th and 7th. Corey Crowell and Kirby Wainscott, as Wainscott starts to slip back a little bit. But right now, Crowell has been your biggest mover all night. He's at +6 in 6th.
Yeah, Corey Crowell in the Ford camp at the Ford Mustang out there, 21, obviously made famous by the Wood brothers. He's doing them proud tonight.
Absolutely. That K-West group, Ford Mustang, is just, it's been strong at times. He didn't get the qualifying attempt he needed, and he had to start almost dead spanking last in this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the history of these drivers like you do, Tony, but other leagues, that you and I broadcast together multiple nights a week, some of these guys, it's part of their weekly MO on their to-do list. They start deep in the field, and they love working their way to the front. Not sure if that's, the MO in this particular driver's case, but nonetheless, I mean, he's doing a heck of a job out there, especially starting deep in the woods, as you mentioned.
Well, it's like last night. I even mentioned it at Watkins Glen that Johnny Binder, he started way deep in that field, like 21st, 22nd, because he didn't take time in qualifying. Imagine where that 33 would be week in and week out had he laid down a solid qualifying lap, or at least attempted a solid qualifying lap.
Yeah, you're talking about the driver of that Sundrop Chevrolet. And,
correct.
We've said that multiple times. Where would he finish if he actually put down a qualifying lap? And to your point, I'm sure he's had to have heard us say this by now, but,
if not, his significant other has.
Right. But, like the song, it's my story and I'm sticking to it. That's how he attacks these races. That's his game plan. And I got to give him some credit. He does not deviate from that. But he likes to charge through the field. But I still often wonder, just what if one of these times he puts up a qualifying lap? Would he be in the top 3? Would he win the race? Would we be talking to him at the end? One of these days, hopefully, we'll have an answer.
And oh, by the way, those of you who are keeping track, Austin Smith just put Alex Teft a lap down. So only Alex Teft and Andrew Teft and Dennis Kane are the only other two cars on the lead lap here tonight, as we are, wow, really, 4/5 of the way through this piece, working lap 121 of 150 here tonight. And that's Alex right behind Austin. And, I mean, as strong as Alex has been, Austin has just been on another level.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Smith in the 23, or Austin John Smith, I'm sorry. He's looking like Richard Petty back in the day, only like all the podium drivers are on the lead lap. No one else is on that contingent lap right now, Tony. So you're right. He's just been next level clearly from the drop of the green flag here as we see him working around there, the 4.
And now only Andrew Teft is left on the lead lap with Austin Smith.
The top 2.
Mm-hmm.
The last time we saw something like this, I believe, was at a road course a couple months back.
It was at the Chicago road course when somebody lapped the field.
On a game controller, if I remember correctly.
You are correct. Kenny Capola. No, he used the gamepad at Sonoma.
That's right.
And he had a couple adult libations in him as well.
Well, I'm not sure about the adult libations or the game controller, but Austin Smith certainly taking a page out of Mr. Excitement's playbook. But the more impressive wow factor here, he's doing it at Nashville Super Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of all the tracks you would expect to see something like this take place, this would be one of the last on my list. I mean,
yeah, you can't even
see Andrew Teft from Smith. There's Teft. Let's go on board with Teft to see if he can actually see Smith at all. Yeah, way down there at the other end of the front chute.
Yeah, that little speck out the front windshield. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the middle of 1 and 2 right now. The little red speck way up the road. But we do have pockets of racing going on. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at Andrew's brother Alex, as he has caught Dennis Kane now, and Ed DeBoer is catching him.
Yeah, a little 3-way battle here or 2-way battle here.
Kane hadn't come down pit road yet. That's why. Kane just now came down. And this might be the money stop for Kane. He's within you can make it from here territory.
Yeah, only 125 laps being completed, written in the history books right now, Tony. 150 laps of scheduled distance, 100% correct. He can make it from here. I believe
so does Teft.
20 time.
Teft is down as well in the 6. That's going to move Alex up into 2nd. He's got to come all the way around to get the race lead as Ed DeBoer following him right now. DeBoer out of Cadillac, Michigan has been strong all night as well. He just hasn't been able to really hit his pit stops as well as everybody else.
Edwin DeBoer in the 24. He started 7th, currently being scored in 4th place position, Tony. And you're right, he's being lapped down. He's got to come all the way back around the racetrack. But nonetheless, solid run here in the heart of Music City, Nashville Super Speedway in primetime. I want to thank everyone for joining us here tonight live on SRM coverage. Interested to see how this one's going to play out with all the different fuel strategy going on.
Yeah, this is going to be one that's going to be interesting. As Smith still has
the 24 down pit road.
The 24 is in. Smith has stayed out. Alex Teft has stayed out. DeBoer is now in on lap 129. Corey Crowell, he stays out. He still has to come down again. And so does Paul Shaw back here in the 25. And we got to go on board with Corey Crowell because I think I'm hearing him clutch.
I thought I heard him clutch too.
He is.
Oh, you know what that means, Tony.
There's no way.
You know what that means.
There is no freaking way he's going to be able to do 50 laps on a tank of gas.
I don't think so either, but he's clutching it for a reason, and it's not to make time out there on the racetrack.
I mean, he's got to be looking to short pit this thing.
He has to. There's no way that juice box has any type of fumes left in it going 50 laps with only 50% fuel capacity. So
well,
I'm thinking...
Let's check on with our race leader, Austin Smith, who now officially has the entire field lap down. Yeah, he is still bringing that thing's neck for all it's worth. And he almost has the pit delta over Corey Crowell.
Yeah, so everything just going right for Austin Smith right now in the 23. But you know what? I like, the drive and the fire and the passion in these other drivers right now. Even with as dominant as Austin Smith has been, these guys just ain't rolling over and playing dead, Tony.
Now, something to make note of, Alex Taft came down for 2 tires, and it was a 39.97 pit delta from cone to cone. The gap between Smith and Crowell is right now 44.5 seconds.
Now that's going to get interesting.
Yes, it is. Especially with Andrew Taft up into 3rd already. And we're going to go take a look at his last lap time. Look at that. 29s for the last 4 laps.
Yeah, right in that 29.
And Smith is in. Smith's in. Does Crowell come in? No, Crowell stays out.
As Austin Smith comes in, he hits pit road looking for his pit box. He's going to stop, make sure he gets all 4 tires in the box. Let's see if he goes ahead and puts some Goodyear Eagles on this race car, looking for the jack to go up, and it does too. Kansas Sunoco Racing Fuel. Tony, he's got to make sure he doesn't get caught speeding off the pit road here. You don't want to have a last-minute catastrophic mistake here as the jack drops, and here he comes back out onto the racing surface. Don't think any crimes have been committed. Nice, clean stop there by Austin Smith in the 23.
And he'd spent a couple extra seconds on pit road to make sure he didn't get popped for speeding. He knew he had a lap on the field as here comes Taft on Crowell. Crowell still saving. Taft is just wringing that Mustang's neck for all it's worth. Matter of fact, let's go on board with our points leader.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tony. He is getting all the good out of that Ford Performance racing engine underneath the hood on that race car.
I mean, watch when he shifts right here.
Ooh.
8,500 and he doesn't even lift. He is using that Ford power for all it's worth right now. Similar to the way they used to do it back in the day when it was Roush Yates horsepower.
Yeah, back when they had those Romeo engines, and you hit the nail on the head. Old school power shifting.
Checking back in with Dennis Kane as he is caught Ed DeBoer now. Those 2 guys both have their money stop done and dusted and can make it home from here without issue.
Those stops are...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I say those stops are done and dusted, Tony, but the laps continue to wind down. We are starting to run out of time here as Justin Smith continues to have a stranglehold on the field. Andrew Taft now being scored in 2nd. Corey Crowell, I believe the points leader, as you said, is in 3rd.
No, Taft is your points leader.
Taft is your points leader, thank you. And rounding out the top 5 right now, Alex Taft in that 43.
And that's the leader right behind him. We're on board now with Alex. That red dot that's getting larger and larger in your field of view, this is right out the rearview mirror of Alex Taft's car. The leader is coming quick, fast, and in a hurry. Oh my God.
A 29.67 for Austin, the Rocket Man Smith.
Holy Christmas. That's faster than his pole speed. That was faster than his pole qualifying speed. And backs it up with a 694. Incredible.
That man is seeing red right now inside the race car. And he's done that with 139 laps of competition on that race car.
Incredible. As we are 11 to go now, Smith shows the way. He's got almost 4 seconds to the good over Andrew Teft. There is Teft getting around the 4 of Dennis Kane finally. Uh-oh, Smith's on one right now. He goes purple in Sector 1. Fastest first sector of anybody. Oh, be still my heart. What is this going to be? A little bit of wiggle coming out of 4. 6'9". 6'8" with a 6.
I think if that wiggle wasn't there, it probably would have been the fastest lap. But like you were saying, Tony's still absolutely blistering out there.
Oh, he absolutely is. Milwaukee definitely put their money on the right car tonight. As now he's coming to put Alex Teft a lap down. That's going to leave only our top 4 on the lead lap in a few minutes here.
Yeah,
9 to go.
That fourth place driver, he could still possibly go a lap down here before we run the scheduled distance.
Yes, he could. As a matter of fact, let's go take a look where Wayne Scott is. There he is. And he still has to come down for a splash and go, so he's in trouble. And there you have it. Smith passes Alex Teft. So that leaves Andrew Teft, Corey Crowell, and Kirby Wainscott, the only other 3 cars on the lead lap other than your race leader, Austin Smith.
Yeah, that is... part of that's by the crazy, insane lap times right now that Austin Smith's out there running right now. But, the top 3 podium drivers, they've clearly been the guys to beat tonight, but no one seems to have had the pace to compete with that 23 tonight. He's just been on another planet, Tony.
You're absolutely correct. I haven't seen this out of Smith this season yet. Tonight, something about Music City, USA, and putting a brand new Gibson Les Paul guitar on the line as the trophy. Yeah, that might wake somebody up, especially if you're a guitar aficionado.
Well, that hits the nail right on the head. That'll certainly, in the words of Motley Crue, kickstart your heart and really get that adrenaline pumping. As you said, Austin Smith putting on the performance so far of the season here in Music City.
I prefer skydive naked from an aeroplane. That's how you kickstart my heart. Just chuck me out of an airplane buck naked. And just as I say that, Alex Teft has gotten by Kirby Wainscott, as Wainscott is in save mode right now. Wainscott was last down pit road on 113. It's a big ask because we're already on the handshake lap.
Yeah, handshake lap, 5 laps remain. But can he go the distance on fuel, Tony? I want to see if he can make it all the way to the end here.
Not a chance. You're asking him to do 46 laps.
Let me put it to you this way. If he completes the final lap, but he's not underpowered, does it still count?
No. Because you have to make it all the way back around to get onto pit road for the cool down lap, or else they consider you another lap down.
Ah, I see. So, rules of the league. So, unless he doesn't have someone out there willing to push
him. No, that's
him.
iRacing.
And apparently, somehow, I defied the rules of iRacing a couple days ago, but we'll save that for another time.
And he can't dawdle too much because Ed DeBoer is coming like a freight train. Matter of fact, look at those lap times. Almost half a second quicker, over half a second quicker, a second and a quarter quicker over half a second quicker, and that's just the last 5 laps. DeBoer is going to freight train Kirby Wainscott. As we are 2 to go, popsicle sticks in the air for that man. As he's coming through 3 and 4, there is his closest competitor, 6 3/4 seconds adrift. But right now, Austin John Smith coming to the white flag. We are racing back to checkers, Matt.
Racing back to checkers one more time around this 1.33 mile facility for Austin the Rocket Smith here tonight from Actionville. He has been the man with the plan from the drop of the green flag, attacking and bringing the punishment to this concrete surface as he comes through the 3 and 4 complex from the final time. Tony Trapasso, he's going to take it low and wide. He can see the checkered flag.
That's
Austin
Crowell.
Smith.
That was 3rd place. Coming to the stripe, DeBoer just edges out Wainscott for 5th. That was Corey Crowell that went a lap down coming out of 4. Holy crap.
That is absolutely insane.
Let's go watch that again. We're going to watch this white flag from on board of Smith.
Yeah, let's watch that again. I got to see that. SRM instant replay action.
This is coming to the white flag. There you see Barney waving it. That's Crowell right in front of him in the 21. Crowell made it. Crowell was last down on lap 109 and he made it.
Freaking believable.
42 laps on a tank of Go Fast.
50% fuel. I never would have thought in a million years that would have been possible.
Holy Christmas.
Talking about going high stakes Las Vegas mode.
You're absolutely right there, sir. As we are going to see if we can find... There he is. Matt, I believe you've got the man of the hour with you now.
Austin Smith, Matt and Tony up in the booth. You got us, bud.
I got you guys.
Well, congratulations, Austin, on a dominating win. You look like the Rocket Man Ryan Newman back in the day out there. You were just next level all night long compared to the rest of the competition. How were you able to come out here and just put up that kind of pace for 150 laps?
Yeah, it was nice to get out front early, so I had clear track the entire time, could really focus on my line. Andrew was putting pressure on me all race, though, so give it to Andrew. Really had to hit my marks all night.
You mentioned getting out in front. How important was clean air here at this racetrack for you?
Yeah, super, super important. I noticed when I was in traffic, I definitely was getting a little tight behind a bunch of people, but thankfully the whole field was pretty nice, and they were letting me go by pretty easily, so, yeah.
Now, definitely a lot of respect out there on the racetrack, as you mentioned, from the other competitors. Really didn't hold you up out there. What does this do for the momentum department for you, Austin, moving forward?
Yeah, I really haven't been able to race with these guys much this year. Just been super busy, so finally got to get in on a Thursday night. But, yeah, definitely try to make some more races this year and keep it going.
Absolutely. Before we cut you loose, let you go celebrate with your team. Who do you want to thank who helps you get it done on the 23?
Yeah, just thank you to Andrew for putting this on and the whole team at Racers Elite. It's a pleasure racing with them guys. And, of course, thanks to my family for letting me race.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, your winner from Music Capital of the United States of America, Nashville Super Speedway. That is the driver of the 23, Austin the Rocket Smith. Tony Trapasso, back to you.
And joining me now is the driver of the Mark Martin number 6 here tonight, the pride of Hope Valley, Rhode Island, and still your points leader, Andrew Teff. How difficult did Austin make that on you tonight?
Yeah, he was pretty tough. I figured I'd mix it up on pit strategy and um, take an extra set of 4 tires there, it seemed like. But I'm not quite sure what he did, actually.
He took 4 every time.
Yeah, I guess just the staggering. He had him better and was still in front of me. So, yeah, just good all-around performance. Congrats to him.
Well, congrats to you, too. I mean, you had one of the most dominant cars here tonight. Didn't get the qualifying attempts you were hoping for. Talk us through what happened on that.
Yeah, I messed up 1 and 2, got a little high, and just knew it wasn't going to be better. The first lap was the best I had, so I think I started 5th, had to pass a few cars, there was some dirty air, but yeah, I mean, I had the speed. Just not sure if I had the speed at the right times, like short term versus long run. I mean.
Well, Andrew, again, congratulations on yet another podium finish here tonight. Let me just double check my facts here where we are next week.
Good old Bristol.
Good old Bristol. What are your thoughts going into the last great Coliseum as we stay in the great state of Tennessee and another concrete track?
I'm thinking we're actually going to see a caution for once.
Nah, you guys are too good for that.
Maybe a few.
Free, caution free here tonight. Congratulations on that. You got to be proud of your whole league for that.
Yeah, everybody's super respectful. I'm not really sure how I'm lining up with such respectful, good racers. They're just coming in from all directions, and
well, from the looks of it, you go for quality over quantity as far as your driver rosters go.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd much rather have races like these with a smaller field than a bunch of guys and a bunch of cautions.
I would have to agree with you on that one. But Andrew, who helps you get it done here, not only on the number 6, but in Racers Elite?
Yeah, thanks to everybody for showing up. Can't do it without them. We don't have a show. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Family for letting me play. Servicemen and women. Congrats to Corey for another podium finish. He's been on a roll. Yeah, can't wait till next week.
Andrew Teff, congratulations on another podium finish. Your brother coming home in 4th, so both of you going top 5 here tonight. That's something to be said here at Nashville. We'll see you next week at Bristol.
Yep. Thank you.
And Matt, I believe you got the man who clinched our biggest mover award here tonight with that last lap pass to go a lap down.
Corey, Matt, and Tony up in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
I do. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing fantastic. How are you doing after that performance tonight, my friend?
Best fuel mileage of the night.
Yeah, I figured I think it was after that second stop, I was like, man, if I could really get it to about 40 laps to go, I could maybe squeeze it through. So I made that last stop, and I was saving that entire run, and I didn't even think I had enough. So luckily, I went a lap down right before it. I did have enough to make it around, but it would have been saving constantly. I messed up in qualifying, and I tagged the wall on my out lap, and then that kind of put me in the back. But overall, good night.
I'll say, you mentioned the qualifying didn't go your way. You rolled off 12th, but I got to get back to that fuel mileage strategy. I mean, I appreciate the honesty. You not even knowing if you were going to be able to make it. Tony heard you clutch, and we went on board. And he's like, no, it can't be. And I'm like, Tony, I think he is. We were both like, there's no way. And, man, you made believers out of us, shocked everyone in the live broadcast, man. Well done. I mean, when you're going up against Austin Smith, I mean, you really sometimes got to dig deep into the playbook, and you can't be afraid to roll the dice. And it certainly worked out here in your favor as you come home third. We gonna see more of this types of strategies since this one paid off for you tonight?
Well, I said after Michigan I would never run like that again, and then I ended up doing it again tonight. So hopefully not.
What about next week at Bristol?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, maybe. I guess we'll see how it plays out. I mean, I didn't have anything for Austin or Andrew. They were so far ahead. I was battling with Alex there, and so I was just trying to figure out what was the best way to get me into third. So that seemed to play out. That's what I went with. I was actually shutting the car off in that last round going into the turns. So
That was just incredible, Corey. I mean, heck, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ladies and gentlemen, he has a spec fire hose in his car for the fuel line, so he's able to pack a couple extra gallons in that before it goes empty. Corey, before we cut you go, who do you want to thank? Who helps you get it done?
B. Evans Designs, Spread Eagle Fugitive, Racers Elite for throwing on this league. You guys for broadcasting this. It's been great. So I look forward to the rest of it.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, not afraid to go high stakes Las Vegas mode anytime, anywhere, and make it work. Once again, here in prime time, comes home third, the driver of the number 21. That is Corey Crowell. Thank you for your time, bud. Tony, back to you.
And with that, we put another one in the books. Austin Smith, Andrew Taft, Corey Crowell. We just spoke to those three gentlemen. Alex Taft hanging on for fourth. Ed DeBoer salvages a fifth-place finish as he got by a clutching Kirby Wainscott in the closing laps here. And it's got to be noted that Crowell came down on 109. Wainscott came down on 113, and they both made it to the natural finish of this race. Dennis Kane coming home in seventh. Paul Shaw, Josh Neal, and Eric Jensen rounding out your top 10. Kelsey Smith put it on the hauler early. Scotty Davis put it on only after 4 laps. And Brandon Pufferbarger had the worst luck tonight. Started outside first row, and his power went out just as it came time to grid. So hopefully you can salvage one next week at Bristol, Brandon. Best of luck to you then. But that is going to do it for us here tonight from Racers Elite. Thank you so much for making us part of your Thursday evening. He's Matt Metler. I'm Tony Trapasso. Remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life this week, and until we get a chance to meet again next week, or next time we do meet, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.